If you are not a prophet, you are not a prophet. Papa Oyedepo has never done a crusade in any part of this nation that I know of. Packed a stadium, blind eyes are seeing, lembless are walking. You were in Shiloh. Even the night devoted for miracles and all that. You didn't see them line up 1,000 wheelchairs. And he's walking from A to B and C and D. Get up, get up, get up, get. You never saw that. You can come to a meeting like that, the whole world is watching. You didn't see 10 wheelchairs opening up. And yet millions are fixated. Why? This man, like he said, is totally engrossed with what is in him. You see, many times we keep struggling, fighting to be who we are not. In Nigeria today, you see people like Jerry Sermon, himself, some other guys that you see having blowout ministries everywhere and all of that. I saw some online, on-site, everywhere. A lot of young pastors are just confused and are working in competition. And they get up every day, they despise the grace in them. They can't flow. They're busy charging God with foolishness and looking at God as being hurtful on them, as not helping them, as if their prayers and fastings are not working. They do 100 days, it didn't work. They do 40 days, it didn't work. They do 21 days, it didn't work. Lord, when will I be like him? When you look at people like Papa Oyedepo and you look at people like Kumuyi, in their generation, there were just maybe 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 of them. Everybody that competed with them couldn't get to that level. Why? Because it's not by their ability, their holiness, their prayer. It's an issue of election. They were chosen to model something and pass it across a generation. That you couldn't get 1,000 churches planted in a year doesn't mean you can't plant 2. That you couldn't pastor a church of 50,000 doesn't mean you can't pastor 1 or 5,000. You can grow. You can intentionally walk with God and see your life go from one level to another, to another, to another, doing what he called you to do without straying out of your path. No one has nothing and no one has everything. God wants you to keep sharpening the areas of your strength. You can put gatekeepers on areas of your weakness. Leverage on the gift of men you have around you to get some things done, but focus on your core gifts. Stop focusing on what is not yours. It's not going to work.